Already in here talking to each other. Welcome, you guys. I see the chat is already, y'all started without me. Y'all started the class without me. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I couldn't think of what day it was, you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. I'm usually on here on Sundays, but I was like, you know what? I get so many emails and questions about auctions, and I don't feel like we always get to all the questions. So I said, tonight, let's talk about auctions. Tomorrow, let's talk about pre foreclosures and foreclosures. Okay. That is what we're going to do. I know I've already done like a ton of master classes on auctions and pre foreclosures, but let's talk about auctions, right? I'm, I auctioned last week, actually. So welcome. It is 8 o'clock. Happy Saturday, everybody. If you can hear me and see me clearly, let me know. Let me know where you're from. I see you're in New Jersey. My name is Taiki. Is that right? Taiki. Hello, all. I have my bag ready to pick up some gems. That's what I'm talking about, Dwayne. Dwayne always like when I say blink, he always blinking first. Tax overages aspects. I'm leaning toward that arena as a newbie, trying to preserve and build my coins. That's what we all doing, building our coins, right? California, what's up, California? West Coast, loud and clear. Good. Welcome from Memphis and Northeast. Come on, you. I see you, neighbor. Texas. Welcome, everybody. I like to hear where you're from. I love to hear that. We can talk about foreclosure numbers real quick. I know that's supposed to be for tomorrow, but I still want y'all to know. And then we'll jump into everything auction tonight because I am your auction mama, right? St. Louis. It's some auctions in St. Louis this week, and they already have the opening bid posted. I'll show you that so you can see what's going on in St. Louis. You should go to the auction and then report back to us, right? It is 8 o'clock. So you guys, I'm going to jump in with this introduction, and then we will start talking about auctions. That is what the topic is. If you got questions and we kind of get off, we always get off. But I'm gonna try to stick to the topic tonight, right? That's what we're doing. Thank you, Dwayne, because you be blinking. Hello, $1 Million Mama MDM. That's what I'm talking about. Let me do the introduction real quick in case you are new here and you have just found me. You just found my channel. Hello, Granny's on here. Granny over here working pre-foreclosures and making deals. We all out here trying to get the coins. I love our community. Like, we are really out here working. Like, we are trying to. At least we're being proactive, right? Doing what we can do. So let me jump in real quick, you guys. Massachusetts up there. Okay. We got the Northeast, the West Coast, the South, everybody. Paying their property taxes. Y'all better go check out the property tax, the tax sales. I know people who pick up properties at tax sales all the time. So y'all go, even if you have no idea. I feel like just being in the environment, right? Even if you don't have any money, even if you got like $19 in your pocket, just go, right? They're not asking you how much money you got. Go see how it is. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about all auctions. I'm your auction mama. So Delaware, New Jersey, I see you. So, okay, let's jump in, you guys. I'm Ashley Pickens. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee, you guys. Memphis, the 901. Memphis, Tennessee. I've been in real estate since 2006. I was 21 in 2006. Y'all can do that math. Got in real estate in 2006. I've been a real estate agent. I've been a real estate broker over a firm with agents. And I'm an auctioneer. I've been auctioning probably for the last 8 to 9 years here in Shelby County, parts of Mississippi. I was in Mississippi last week auctioning, and Nashville, and all these little rural areas here, is down here in the southeast area, right? So I just started making videos, if you just found me, to help people understand the auction arena, right? Because when they called me and asked me to be an auctioneer, you guys, I literally had no idea what I was going to do, right? I tell this story all the time, right? They called me, they left a message on my voicemail, and I thought it was a scam, right? I'm like, it's a scam. The voice message said, but I didn't delete it, right? I didn't delete it. But when I heard it the first time, I'm like, this is a scam. So then I played it back again. And it was like, the auctioneer in your area has relocated and we're looking for a new auctioneer. Would you be interested? And I was like, let me call these people back, right? And it was a trustee out of Phoenix. And I was like, I'm not an auctioneer, right? I do real estate, but I'm not an auctioneer. She's like, it's all good. We're going to tell you what to say. And I was like, okay, right? If you know me, I'm going to always say yes, right? I'm going to say yes and then figure it out always, right? So I said, okay, and here I am like 8 years later, and I auction we have about 6 foreclosure attorneys here in Memphis. I auction for about 5 of the 6. Um, so that is what I do. So I encourage you to just say yes and figure it out, right? One foot in front of the other. So I started making videos, right? Because when I was going to become an auctioneer, when they called me about it, I started, what do? You Google and look on YouTube to see what I got to do, right? And there's nobody like really with auction videos on YouTube. It's a couple people like recording, standing back and all that kind of stuff. But there was like no auctioneers on YouTube, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make videos, right? And then the more I started going to auctions and seeing, and I started posting all over kind of like Facebook and Instagram. And most people have no idea how auctions work, right? Like you just don't know. And I've been auctioning for almost 10 years, and it's the same, maybe 5 to 7 people here in Memphis that are there at every auction. It's been like that for the last 8 years. So people just don't know. Like we all hear that there's auctions at the courthouse, right? Everybody has heard that. Everybody has heard, I hear that they auction all properties at the courthouse. That is even before I became an auctioneer, I heard that, right? But I didn't know when, where, what properties, what time, how do you pay for it? Like you don't know anything like that. So I decided to start making videos and teach y'all how to go to the auction, right? So that is how we got here. And now I have a community full of amazing people, y'all, on here, and we are growing steadily. Do I use a speaker at your auction? I asked because the auction I went to last week was very difficult to hear. And I think it can be really difficult for me, like, again, it's only like 5 to 7 people at the auction where I am. So, and I know all the guys, right? So I stand there, I can talk pretty loud. But it's not like what I see in some places like Florida and California and Georgia, where it's a ton of people, right? So I can only imagine the difficulties of trying to hear, but I don't have to use one because it's just not like this auction I had last week on Thursday. It was only one guy there, right? It was just me and him. And so he ended up getting the property for $1 over opening bid. So I don't have a mic, right? I don't have one. I don't know if other people do. You know what I mean? I've been to auction.com's auctions before, and they don't have a mic. You just hope that the auctioneer talks kind of loud, right? Or you get there early so you can be like right in front. But no, I haven't seen anybody with a mic, right? So, Round Rock, Jackie's in the house from Round Rock, Texas. You and Neck Hammock and other must-haves down there in Texas, and y'all's auctions are going online. So we'll see what happens with that. If they start moving all auctions online, we'll see. Yeah, because, okay, so we can jump into, let's talk about auctions. That's a good point that you made, that it's so loud and people are talking, because I can be auctioning and it can be other auctioneers there too. Like I auction at the same time we can auction simultaneously, right? So that's a good thing to remember. You can bid on more than one property, right? You can have somebody bid on your behalf. I'm jumping all ahead of I had an order of operations. I was going to do this, but y'all know how this goes. We just kind of go in the order of questions that come in. But I'm going to start at the beginning. We talk about auctions, where to find them, how to bid, things I need you to remember, all that kind of stuff. But what I was going to say is people are always like, can somebody bid for you? Absolutely. It's always out of town investors with somebody there bidding for them. You see people on the phone all the time, trying to see if they need to bid higher. If there's multiple auctions going on, I know in Cook County, Chicago, sometimes they have like a foreclosure auction. They have tax auctions all going on simultaneously in different rooms. So you can bring a friend, right? You can bring your mama. your brother, your sister, it doesn't matter who you bring, you know, and they can bid for you in another at another auction in case you got a couple properties that you want that are going up for auction at the same time. People can bid for you. Okay. So just keep that in mind. One auction inside the okay. So cool. And so I guess it just depends where you are. That's why I tell y'all go to the auction. So let's start with at the very beginning. Like, how do we get to the auction part so everybody understands this? And I've said this before, right? A homeowner goes into foreclosure, they get behind, let's say 3 months. I had some slides, but do y'all really need the slides? Do y'all want the slides? Or do you want me to like just talk to you? You know what I mean? Slides, press 1 if you want the slides. Press 2 if you just want me to wing it and talk to you like I usually do. Because I can pull up some slides from a previous masterclass because I've done a masterclass on this before, right? But we can get some slides going. 1 was slides, 2 was no slides. Look, I'm like, what did 1 mean? Man, my bad memory. Okay, y'all want some slides? Okay, hold on. Let's give me a second, you guys. I'll get some slides going. Some y'all are some visual people. I understand. I am too. Let's see. Let me pull up a previous master class. And you know, when it gets real interesting, I'm gonna put my big face in the in the camera when I have something really big to say. So let's here, we'll do these slides. And y'all gonna have to bear with me because I did this masterclass a few months ago. But okay, let's do these slides right here. And then look at this, a masterclass. These weekend lives are definitely turning into little mini master classes for y'all. So hopefully y'all are learning something every time you get out of here. Hold on. Here we go. Let's do this one. Due diligence at the auction. I'm about to share my screen with you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm not going to take you through the whole master class, but I want to at least start. We'll see how many people were at this master class that remembers. Okay, I'm about to share my screen with you. Y'all know, start blinking when you can see the screen. Share. Let's put it on present mode. We're doing a lot right here on YouTube. Let me say that. Can y'all see that? Blink if you can see it. Can everybody kind of see that? I can't put it on presentation. Thanks, Dwayne. I knew Dwayne was going to blink first, baby. He was going to blink first. So, okay, let's bear with me. I can't blow it up too big because I can't see the screens, or I won't be able to see the chat, right? Like if it's presentation mode, I can't see what y'all are saying. So bear with me. I'll check the chat every once in a while. Good. I'm glad y'all are learning. Okay, so here's a masterclass. When I put it on presentation mode, I can't see it with y'all. So let's start real quick and then I'll jump back in. This was the masterclass on auctions. Okay, so let's start here. Okay, so first of all, everybody knows I deal with distressed properties, right? I am not your agent that's just like, I mean, I handle traditional sales, but I prefer the distressed market. That's foreclosures, auctions, short sales, REOs. That is my jam, right? It's enough agents doing like regular market. And nothing wrong with that, you guys. Nothing's wrong with that. I just like what I like. You know what I mean? I like what I like. So I'm over here on this side. So but we're talking about auctions today. So once upon a time, you guys, meet Benjamin, right? This was a masterclass from I think this was November's masterclass. Okay, so Benjamin, you guys, he is 33, living in Atlanta, single and mingling, right? I'm going to skip through a couple of these things. He's always loved real estate. He got his license a few years ago and has sold a few homes, right? But Chris, hold on, let me jump a little bit. Chris calls him. He got a friend because we all have friends. Let me put my face in the screen. Chris, so I can see everybody, calls him and says, hey, what was his name? Benjamin. I heard about a property going up for auction and it is like opening bid is, let's say $50,000, right? And the property is worth $300,000, right? Chris calls and says this, we need to go bid on this property at the auction, right? So that is where we are. And Here's a couple other properties, right? Great neighborhoods. Chris says that the auction only requires a 10% down payment. Opening bid is 90K, and no one ever goes to the auction. So let's pool our money together, right? That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put my big face in the screen. So before you go to the auction, you guys, let's talk about this. How do properties become auction properties? Homeowner gets behind on their mortgage, let's say 3 months, right? Behind on their mortgage. The bank files that notice of default, okay? Bank files notice of default. After that notice, the notice of default, letting them know they're in foreclosure, they'll get a notice that says you have to pay your entire past due balance, right? Or your property is going up for auction in 30 days. Boom. That's how it becomes an auction property, right? The bank is going to try to sell it at the auction in about 30 days. That is why I always stress to you, you guys, due diligence, okay? Because keep in mind, if a homeowner gets a letter in the mail that says you got to pay $30,000 by the end of the month or your property's going up for auction, 9 times out of 10, they can't pay it. And 9 times out of 10, they don't have anywhere to go, okay? So when it comes to auction properties, you guys, people can live in the property. That is the biggest thing that a lot of people that's what makes a lot of people's nervous system, act up. That make everybody blood pressure go up. Press 1 if you would buy a property that somebody lives inside of and you cannot see the inside of it. Press 1 if you would buy a property that you cannot see the inside of. Press 1. And you got to pay cash for it. And you cannot get a refund. Right? Press 1 if you would buy a property that you cannot see the inside of. I see a 1. I see 1. Press 2 if you would not. I'm sorry, I should have given you another option. Press 2 if you like, that is not my blood pressure, that is not my speed. I don't know about that. 1 if it's a really good deal. There come the 2s. It's always going to be some 2s. Look, it's always going to be some 2s that are like, hell no, to the no. You'll be like, Okay. So we got some 1s, we got some 2s, right? So I get it. A lot of people are like, you can't see the inside of these auction properties. You are bidding blind, right? People could live in it. It could need repairs, right? You have no idea what the condition of the property is. And then keep in mind, once you bid on it, you're responsible for evicting these people. You have to evict these people, right? These homeowners, whoever is living in the house. That is going to be your responsibility. Could you possibly see pictures from last time? Yes, that's definitely part of your due diligence, right? Definitely part of your due diligence. So I always, if it was me, I would go on Zillow. Of course, I would drive by the property. There are things that I always say do. Check the title and drive by that property, right? Check the title and drive by the property. Y'all, there have been people who have bought a pile of dirt at the auction because they didn't drive by it, right? They might have driven by in January. Auctions get postponed and canceled all the time. All the time. People file bankruptcy. People do a modification. People do a forbearance. And that just pushes their auction date, right? So if you drive by in January and that price and that house is still there, and then the homeowner calls the bank and is like, they file bankruptcy, right? So then the auction gets postponed, right? I've had auction properties get postponed like 6 and 7 times, right? What if the homeowner get mad and burn the house down? What if they get mad and burn the house down, right? Like, it could. A lot of these properties, might be up for condemnation. They might be condemned by the city, right? I don't know this when I get up and auction properties, right? I just auction it off and boom, you got to do your due diligence and hope that property is still there, right? So that's why I'm always like, do your due diligence before you go to the auction. There are great deals at the auction. Great deals. Y'all know I have auctioned off a house for $500. $500, right? Great deals. But you got to do your due diligence, okay? I could and feel comfortable estimating a rough. Boom. That's what I'm saying. If you know, like your seasoned investors, or if you have somebody that you know, like contractors, you got some people like these hedge funds, property managers, contractors, they can look at a property, right? You can look at a property and look at the square footage of it once you get that good or experienced. And you're like, okay, it's 1,800 square feet. I know it's going to probably cost me, what, $10 a square foot. Bathrooms, got 3 bathrooms. I'm probably going to have to redo them. Boom, right? And then you add a little cushion for your, like, things you didn't know might be needed, right? But a lot of experienced investors can look at a property from the outside and boom, already know how much it's going to cost. Or it's not scary to them to buy a property that they can't see the inside of, especially if them numbers look right. You know what I mean? Especially if them numbers are right. Like that's like asking somebody, like, if a property went up for $5,000, right? And it was worth $250,000. Most of y'all gonna be like, yes, yes. Like when I had that property go up for $500, I just made a couple phone calls, right? I even posted it on Facebook and was like, opening bid today is $500. People on Facebook were like, let me cash app you the money, right? Sight unseen, because it was $500, right? And see all the documents. How long does the bankruptcy actually delay foreclosure auction? I think it actually depends. Welcome, Sonia. You moved to Poland yet? Sonia's moving to Poland, everybody. It just depends, right? I'm looking at nationwide posting, and we can look at that. I'll show you some sites. Y'all know I jump all over the place. But it'll show nationwide posting is an auction site. I'll show it to you. And it'll show like client filed bankruptcy, auction postponed a month later. Like it just gives them a month, because a lot of times people will file just to stall the auction, right? Just to stop it in that moment, and then don't go through with the auction, go through with the bankruptcy, right? Because it's a payment that comes with bankruptcy. A lot of people forget that. A payment comes with bankruptcy, right? So people just use it as a stalling tactic, honestly, and then don't go through with it. And then their house goes back up for auction, even though they filed bankruptcy. So boom, that was the first thing. Let's talk about where you find auction properties and all of that kind of stuff. I wanted to share with you, a couple of things. At the auction, let's see what we used to hear. I think a lot of myths that we always like. I was at the auction one time and the guys waited. I always tell people, if you see me at the auction, just wait till the auction is over and come over, and then you can talk to me, right? Don't come talk to me like in the middle of an auction, right? Don't talk to me in the middle of an auction. Don't talk to me when I'm taking money, right? Two rules for me. But after it's all over, you come talk to me, right? I literally had a guy come up to me at the auction. It was over, and he had a paper in his hand. He had a paper, and he was like, they keep saying, look in the paper, but where am I supposed to look in the paper? Right. And that's what I used to hear too. Like when you're like, where are the auctions? And people are like, they in the paper. You'd be like, what paper are these auctions in? Right. It's all the advice you get about auctions are so vague, right? I heard they auction at the courthouse. Look in the paper. You're like, what? That's why people don't even try. That's why they don't even try, because the information is so vague. And auctions are still kind of like, I feel like they're becoming more popular, but they still kind of hush hush. Like a lot of people, it's still very hush hush. I'm here in Memphis, and like I said, I've been doing this almost 8-9 years at this point, and it's still the same guys. Literally still the same guys every time at the auction, honestly. So when it comes to the paper, when people tell you to look in the paper, they're referring to the public notices, basically. You look for the notices. The lenders or the banks will file the notices in a paper, right? It's usually not your big publications. It's not like the LA Times or New York Times. Here, it's the smaller, like our daily news. It's like a really thin paper, is where they publish. And you're looking for public notices. It does not really say like foreclosure auction. So if you think you're going to look in the paper and it's going to say foreclosure auction, that's not what it says, right? That's what throws everybody off. But here in Memphis, they put all of our business out in the paper, right? If you're getting divorced, if you got to pay child support, if you're everything is in the paper here. So they have tax sales, tax sales, public notices. I don't know if y'all can see that. Public notices, right? So it's in the smaller paper, but that's when people say look in the paper, that's what you're looking for, like the public notice. However, it is 2024, right? And nobody's getting a paper these days, I don't feel like, right? It's 2024. Another great way to find auctions and notices is to Google, like Google your county. If you live in Dade County, Cook County, whatever county you live in, look, I'll even share my screen so I can do a better representation for you because I know some of y'all are visual, right? So new tab, share. You could Google, like, I live in Shelby County. Everybody see this? Let me see. The post tax notice in the local, yep, at the libraries. That's what I was going to say. These smaller papers and notices, the library, you guys, is a place that you can go, right? And you can get books for free. Like you check them out and they tell you how long you can keep it and then you take it back, right? And they have all kinds of books and stuff. That's the library. So they also have papers, right? And you can find your smaller publications there too. But you can also Google. I say Google Shelby County. I live in Shelby County. Shelby County public notices, right? I would say whatever county you live in. I already know. Like, so here it is, the Memphis Daily News. Everybody can see that Memphis Daily News. Here is the paper. So they have an online version. So wherever you live, my point is wherever you live, Cook County, Dade County, Gwinnett County, Fulton County, Harris County, wherever you live, I would Google that county public notices, right? And then it will pull up. Let's do Nashville. Nashville is Tennessee Ledger. Did my screen change? It did change. They filed theirs on Friday, and I would scroll over public notices. Boom. Can we all see this? Is it all changing? I was Googling the name of the town plus. There you go. So if you're looking for taxes, you can do that. Google the name plus tax collector. I will share that link that I shared last time with the county records and deeds sites and the tax sites for like the top 50 cities. I'll share that with y'all again. I shared it last time. Oh, look at there. Greystone Properties LLC. I just happened to see that. That's an investor. Hopefully Greystone Properties LLC is not on the live tonight. It looks like there is a whole bunch of investors always. GP Holdings LLC. It's always a lot of investors on the losing their properties right now. Cool. Good screen change. It's always investors. More and more. I'm seeing more and more. These notices went out yesterday. Nashville posts their notice every Friday. Y'all know I get sidetracked when I start looking. Greystone Properties, the Pleasant 493 Center Street. Y'all know me. I get sidetracked. Because it's always a ton of investors. I'm seeing that more and more investors are foreclosing on their properties right now. So this is what the public notices look like. Let me click on one and see if I can share it with you. I don't know if it'll share this tab. Boom. Can y'all see that? Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Did it change? Yep, there it is. It changed a little bit. Okay. So this is what a notice looks like. It'll have their name, the advertised auction date. This auction is set for July 11th. The first notice went out yesterday. What is that? May? Yeah, May is fine. May 17th. And then it puts all their business out. This is exactly what I read at the auction, if y'all didn't know. This is exactly what I read. And it lets you know. I auction for Wilson. That's one of the trustees that I auction for. It lets you know on July 11th, 2024, on or about 11 a.m., the historic Davidson County Courthouse, this property will be auctioned off, right? These are all people who have an interest in the property. It looks like it was a HUD property, Midland Credit Management. That might be a credit card. But that is what the address is, 1604 Fall Drive, Nashville, Tennessee. There it is. That is what a public notice looks like. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna come on back to y'all. So when I tell y'all that I mail and my notice hits the same time their notice hits, they will get my letter in the mail along with their foreclosure letter. Boom. It's because I check that public notice every single day. So as soon as they get it, they get their foreclosure notice, they're gonna get my letter in the mail too. But that is what a public notice looks like. So for all of the people who, all my people who want to reach out to pre-foreclosures, right? They don't want to deal with the bank. You want to reach out to the homeowner. That public notice is a great place to start. Just a little bit of information for you. That public notice is a great place to start. I will say that. So, and that's how you find it if you want to reach out to the homeowner. Because like I say, you guys, all the way up until the auction, you got to deal with the homeowner. The homeowner is still the decision maker. From pre-foreclosure, foreclosure to the auction, boom. You got to, if you want to buy that property or do anything with that property, you got to talk to the homeowner. After the auction, right? After the auction, if it sells or if it doesn't sell, it becomes a what class? An REO property, right? Properties that do not sell at auction they revert back to the bank and become REO properties. So after that, after the auction, you got to deal with the bank. Okay. Everybody clear on that? Before the auction, you got to talk to the homeowner. After the auction, you got to talk to the bank. Are we all clear? Are we all on one accord with that, you guys? Let me take a sip of water. If you don't understand, say, Ashley, I don't understand. Do you see those about the homeowner whose house was approved over a major easement missed by the title insurance focus? I didn't see that. I had a lady reach out to me and she is in a mess. Like, and I'm going to look, she needs to sue somebody, but they're in foreclosure. She got a house built. It sounds kind of similar to what you're talking about, Dwayne. Got a house built. And the survey that she had, I don't know if she bought it from a builder or what. The survey she was given showed one thing, right? But the survey that was actually filed was completely different. And I guess the builder sold some of her, I don't know, you guys, but it's a mess. And they are foreclosing on her based off of the wrong survey. Like they built some, like they're saying that she's on their land, they're foreclosing, but the survey that they filed, the survey that she got showed that it was her. Like it's a whole mess and they are trying to foreclose on her. So boom, it's, a whole mess. I'm like, she need to sue somebody because it sounds kind of shady, right? They showed her one survey and then they filed another survey. So that's my long-term target, REOs, because I love the concept of sticking it to the banks. There you go. We'll talk about REOs too. What's everybody's strategy? I love to hear your strategy and then I'll jump back in. Like, are we thinking flipping properties? Are we thinking renting them out, rentals? Are we thinking Section 8, right? Because everybody's credit going to be bad. What's the game plan for everybody? Or is it just a mixture of everything? You know what I mean? I guess if you can get a property for cheap enough, I digress. You know how I do. If you get a property for cheap enough and it's enough profit in it, then you could buy it and flip it, right? Or you could keep it and rent it out, right? Because it's always going to be like, that's what I think, you guys. I think like in the coming years, I don't know, everybody already credit is like screwed at this point, ain't it? Well, not everybody, but a lot of people's, right? And I feel like this younger generation, they ain't trying to, a lot of them are not trying to buy houses, right? It's just unaffordable. Some of them just can't afford. And a lot of people's credit's going to be bad and credit card balances are so high. And it's just, until prices go down, it's just going to be unaffordable for people to buy, right? So, and people are always going to need houses. What's the golden rule? The person who has the gold makes the rules. That's the golden rule. And what's the gold? Houses. So the people who have the houses, boom, right? So Welcome, Nikki. Welcome. Flipping a few to start up, then Section 8 rentals for monthly income. I can stay home more. That's what I'm talking about. South Florida. Is that South? Hold on. Piano Matronini. What did that say? I'm in South. Is that Florida? Starting to see foreclosures and short sales. If you're an agent, I would say dust off your short sale skills. I have run into so many agents who have no idea what a short sale is. And I get it, right? I mean, short sales haven't been a thing since like 2008, but I mean, have no idea what a short sale is. One agent, I mean, I literally had like two agents. One agent said she just knew that they were assuming the loan. She was like, I tried to call the lender and they wouldn't talk to me because we're assuming the loan. I'm like, that's not a short sale. I don't know where you thought you was going to assume the loan. That's not a short sale. So it's a lot of confusion around short sales and exactly how they work. And then I had another agent tell me, he said he wanted his clients just to override the short sale. He just wanted to pay whatever my client owed, the balance of the loan. I'm like, why would you do your client like that? My client is upside down. Why would you let your client be upside down? So a lot of people just have no idea what a short sale is. So where do I find these sales? Southern California. So let's talk about where to find auctions, right? So if you don't want to look up the public notices, right, and you want to go to the auction, right? So we got a couple different sites. First of all, let's talk about boom, boom. I'm sharing my screen, Auction.com really shows how agents who've never been through an '08, right, no idea, and gonna have their clients screwed. But I was like, that's not even how it works. But I'm always nice and I'm always willing to teach you, but just know what you got with agents out here sometimes, you know. Um, I'm thinking of learning the tax overages game. If the masses want to keep bidding up these auctions, I think this might be a good strategy. That's I'm telling you, do all the things. I know people are doing this tax surplus thing. You know what I mean? I've heard I always get messages about that. Never Section 8 for me, assign, then pad split, short-term rentals, buy and hold, acquisitions through pre-foreclosures, and eventually REOs. That's what I'm talking about. As long as you got a plan, you guys, as long as I don't care what your plan is, as long as your plan does not do nothing. Don't let your plan be do nothing. As long as we got a plan, if it's fixing your credit, I know some people's plans are going to take a little longer than others, right? But as long as we are actively working on something, getting your credit together, saving your coins, going to auctions, right? Reaching out to homeowners, driving for dollars, cold calling. I don't care what you do, right? Just do something. That's all I'm saying. Just do something. You got to get in the game to win the game. That's what they said on Hamilton. Y'all know I like Hamilton. Got to get in the game. You got to get in the game to win the game. Y'all know you know what I'm saying. Period. Period. before I make up a whole different thing. But auction.com, guys, I always tell you, it's a great site. I don't know why y'all don't believe auction.com is a good site. It is. They have bank owned and foreclosure properties, bank owned and auction properties all across the country. And it does not matter where you live. Okay. They have online bidding. Online bidding. Just make sure you do your due diligence. Where did you say you were from? Hold up. I had the guy in California. Where did you say? Find sales in Southern California. Cedric, give me a city. You know, I don't know. I don't know Cali like that, right? You got to tell me what cities are in Southern California. How to get started if you don't have a lot of capital. Everybody chime in with their advice. Look, how would if I, you know, a lot of people started wholesaling. You know what I mean? Just start wholesaling. There's all kinds of like, but just make sure you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like I would say, make sure you know it because there's so many videos. There's so many real estate gurus who are teaching everything subject to assuming. There's so wholesaling. You know what I mean? It's so many different ways, right? So just make sure you know what you're doing, I would say. I mean, you could even go as far as to you can do property management. I mean, just be knowledgeable in whatever you do. You know, you could bid for maybe be like a look for auctions. Somebody was saying the other day, they were like, they were going to start a business helping investors auction, like go to the auction for investors, or do due diligence for investors who want to go to the auction or something like that. You know what I mean? Just, yeah, people go to auctions with other people. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been on more than one property, you can't be at the same place at, two places at the same time. It's always people like bidding together. I try to wait until one auctioneer finishes, but sometimes I can't do that. Sometimes I just got to go at the same time. Absolutely. You can pull your resources. How do you pay at an auction? Good question, you guys. I will answer all your questions. You got to definitely do your due diligence. Don't go out. You don't wake. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Hold on. I had to put my big face in the camera. You don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I'm going to the auction today. I'm going to give me a property today. That's not how this works. That's not how you do this, right? You have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. You find the properties. You look at the title. Make sure you're buying the right lien. You drive by the properties. See if people are living in it. See if you like the neighborhood. The house might be a burnout, right? It might not even be a house right there. Verify, verify, verify. It's been so many times I have looked at these public notices, right? And they have the wrong address on them. It could be 1371 and they have 1317. You're going to be bidding on the wrong property. Wrong property. Keep in mind, 123 Central Street, 123 Central Avenue, 123 Central Boulevard. 3 different addresses, 3 different locations. So you got to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, you guys? Okay. Don't worry. And I'm going to tell you, Bridget Shaw, I got you on how do you pay. There was a 1.3 million property. I see Texas in the house. Property that went to tax auction here, 40,000 in back taxes. Some player must have contacted the owner because it's withdrawn now. Ooh, may have been 70K. Don't remember. If you see one that is like, when I show y'all properties and that opening bid is real low, if I lived where y'all lived, I'd be like, I'd call them too. If I saw an opening bid, if the property is 1.3 million and it was like, I don't know, 100,000, I'm probably gonna pull up and knock on their door. Be like, look, your property is going up for auction. Do not let them sell your house, right? When those deals are real good, I'm gonna pull up on you, right? When they're real good. Y'all know when the deals are real good. Hold on, let me find it. They're gonna get a brochure from me when the deals are real good. I'm gonna leave a brochure at their house and I'm gonna put a post-it note on it. I'm gonna put a little sticky note on it and I'm gonna say, call me, I can help you. Your auction is set for Friday. The opening bid is 150,000. Call me with the brochure. Everybody doesn't get the brochure. Boom. This brochure is in my course where I teach y'all how to market. I put the brochure in here so y'all can all customize it yourself. You can take my picture off of it and put your picture on it if y'all want the brochure. I included it so you can customize it and print it out. I made this. Look, I made this. And it's just like a little brochure. Watch out for red flags, helpful resources. If you get the brochure, change the phone numbers, right? Change them so it matches where you live. Haven't missed a payment yet, but afraid you might. Boom. So I included it because a lot of y'all were asking about brochures and what you can take. Boom. I included it in that course. If y'all get the course. Hopefully not. Thanks for that. Yeah. Okay. You're right. I get off track. Some auction properties are estates they are in foreclosure due to it. Yep. The next account will have to probate or will. I mailed a probate and heirship. I always say this, you guys. Heirship properties, 90% of the time, they're going to sell. They're going to sell. They're going to sell 90% of the time. Probably more than that because most people just can't afford to take on another house. Even if it's like your mama, your daddy ever left you a house. Most people, one, just don't want to take on another responsibility of a house, right? A lot of times these houses need repairs. Most people don't have extra money to put repairs in another house. Most people don't want to be property managers. They don't want to be landlords, right? And most people just need some money, right? If you get a house, inherit a house, and somebody hits you up and says, I'll give you $50,000 cash, most people are going to be like, where do I sign? When do we close? That's what most people will say. They'd rather have the cash than the property. So I mail to probate and heirship people. Absolutely. And they call. They absolutely call you back. Because and especially right now, you guys, people can't afford another house because even fun fact, I think that we all know, even if you have a house that's paid for free and clear, what do you still have to pay, you guys? Taxes. You still got to pay the property taxes, right? So keep that in mind. Even if it's free and clear, you still got to pay the taxes. And a lot of people are like, they ain't trying to pay those taxes on another house that they're not living in, that's not bringing in money. Boom. So heirship, probate, boom. That's another good market to look into. Boom. And after COVID, I hate to say it, I'm not being insensitive. I'm not being insensitive at all. After COVID, you guys, it's so many properties that people have just passed away from, right? Um, uh, Danita's not on here, but she's in my mentorship and she found a property, right? It was sitting, can't they request excess fund? Yeah, for tax sales too. I believe, yeah, there's surplus for tax sales too. So the homeowner bought it in January 2023 because it's 24. The homeowner bought it January 2023. The guy died before he even made the first payment. Died like I guess the week after closing, died. Um, and that house sat vacant. It just went up for auction in January of this year. It took it a whole year for it to even make it to auction, right? And he never made a payment, never made a payment on that house. And so the son inherited it. It went to the son. Son live across the country, doesn't want the house, and he's just like, I just need to get rid of it, right? So yeah, never made a payment, and it took it a whole year to actually go into foreclosure and be auctioned off, and no payment was ever made. But my point is, heirship, probate, boom, look into it, get into it, you guys. So, what was well? Oh, I'm supposed to be looking at auctions. Y'all know I get so distracted. Y'all have to remind me where I am. I'm looking at the chat too. So let's go back to auction.com. That is a great site if you just need to get some practice in. They have bank owned and auction foreclosures, right? So any city, you said Los Angeles. I got, y'all know I always post LA's auctions. So you type in Los Angeles, and I tell you guys all the time, even if you do not see a property that you want, go to the auction anyway, right? You might see they got first look. That means the properties are about to go into auction. Oh, no, it's foreclosure predict that they predict that that's going into foreclosure. So that means they're probably behind on their mortgage. So you could reach out to them. You could reach out to them. Foreclosure predict. But what was I going to say? Do I have to log in? I don't. Okay. Let me make sure the screen is changing. Boom. It's changing. Okay. Always look here. Okay. So like here in Memphis, this is where I tell y'all to look. Look right here for location. Boom. If you're in Los Angeles, auction.com, auctions at the Doubletree Hotel on Sycamore Drive. That is where it's at the county courthouse. So if you're in Los Angeles, you can go to the county courthouse and see. No, not the county courthouse. Doubletree Hotel. My bad, you guys. Doubletree Hotel. But always look right here because sometimes it'll say the courthouse. Sometimes it'll say a hotel. Auction.com here in Memphis. They auction at the Comfort Inn Hotel in a conference room. So always check there. But go. It's free. You can walk right in. Just find out, say I'm here for the auction and go sit down. You know what I mean? Go see who the auctioneer is. You know what I mean? Okay, so now y'all can see. Okay. Now y'all are here. I'm sorry, you guys. No. Thanks, you guys. Letting me know. Los Angeles. I just clicked. Now it's showing. Let me make sure everybody's with us. Los Angeles. I put in Los Angeles. This popped up. What I wanted you to see is to always check the location. Check the location. And you can go. It's free. It's open to the public, right? You can go. Can I do a video specifically talking about the financing of auction properties? Once they put down the deposit immediately in the sale, the balance is due. So it depends on where you are. Me at the courthouse, I need all of the money immediately. Immediately. It is no deposit with me at the courthouse. So it just depends on what auction platform you're doing. So auction.com, let's see. Cash only. Yes. Conventional financing is not accepted for this property. What should I bring? Boom. Let's click on that. 100% of funds due at the time of sale in cashier's check made payable to the bidder. Can y'all see that? Thank you, P Blue Turtle. Can everybody see that? So it depends on what type of auction it is, where it is, what the platform is. Auction.com. I'm at the courthouse. Yeah, absolutely. I'll look, you guys. Charlotte. But if you're in Cali, go. Y'all can go. You know what I mean? And nobody, it's not. I know, like with car auctions, you have to have like a license to bid, right? Yeah, license to even go at auctions like this. Y'all, hold on, look, you know me. Hold on, watch this. Hold on. Y'all, I'm at the courthouse. Like I'm literally if y'all have seen my videos, I'm at the courthouse. People walk up all the time. You know what I mean? Like I'm not locked up. You don't have to go in a room. You can just walk up and stand there, right? And just stand there, honestly. Just go. And right, Nikki, like I always tell people, go. Like I'm at the courthouse. It's 6 entrances to the courthouse here in Shelby County. You need to find out what entrance the auction is, right? Find out who the auctioneer is. They are absolutely free. I'm not charging y'all no cover charge to get into the auction. I'm not, right? I've been to auction.com. Auction.com has auctioned right next to me before. Like the ladies, they were standing right next to me and I'm auctioning. Nobody's paying to get, you just walk right up. You know what I mean? Half the time it's people going to court and they like, what's going on? Like, it's an auction. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, it's open to the public. Even if it's in the double tree, y'all just walk in there and say you're here for the auction. Go, you got to have some confidence. Have some confidence. Put on your sunglasses if you need to, right? And just act like you there. They don't know if you have $1 or $1 million in your pocket. You know what I mean? You here for the auction. You here to get these properties. You got some coins in your pocket. They don't know, right? They don't know. And if you're not bidding, you just say, I'm here. Nobody is going to stop you from walking. You here for the auction. You minding your own business. You know what I mean? So that's why I always tell people go, especially go if you plan on buying properties at the auction in the future. You need to go see where the auction is, see how quickly it gets bid up, how many people are there. You probably want to identify who the auctioneer is, right? Because I always say most people are not expecting to see me as the auctioneer, right? But it's me at the auction, right? So go figure out who the auctioneer is. See if it's bid up by hundreds, thousands. Here in Memphis, we bid up by usually 100, right? So people will be like plus 100 or something like that. Unless it's a huge building. Unless I'm auctioning off an apartment complex, it's usually 100. Like we go up by hundreds. If it's an apartment complex, it might be like millions or 100,000s. But go and see like how your auction flows. See how many people are there. You know what I mean? A lot of times wholesalers will go to find buyers. Everybody's like, where can I find buyers? At the auction. Go. Sure, you can have a card, pass out your card. You know what I mean? Like you get properties, boom. You know what I mean? Go network. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? At the auction, those guys, those investors, it's like as long as if the numbers make sense, they want them, right? So you never know, right? And if you can get the property before it goes to auction, they really gonna want to talk to you then, right? That's always what I've always done. They always text me and they're like, have you talked to the homeowner? Because they love to get the property before it goes to auction where there's no competition, right? You know what I mean? So absolutely do that. Still looking. I know Jim, everybody want a $500 property. Everybody want one. This is so right. It's time to be learning. We're on the verge. I'm telling you. That's right, P Blue Turtle. That's why we're trying to be proactive on this channel, right? We are being proactive in this community. I'm trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you everything that I know. I'm trying to teach you. Now, back to my girl's question about how to pay at the auction. Okay, you guys, hold on. Let me see if I got my little props that I use. You know what I mean? Because my little kindergarten props. My light is kind of flickering. Hold on. So at the auction, you guys, the main question that I get, certified funds, right? Unless it's an online auction where they take a deposit, right? Some of them do. Some of them do. Okay. Some of them will let you put down a deposit and then you have 30 days to wire that money. Okay. If you don't wire that money, you're going to lose your deposit. You're going to lose your deposit. Okay. So make sure you want that property. With me at the courthouse, once you give me your coins, don't call me back. Do not call me and say, Ashley, I have changed my mind. None of that. None of that. Okay. So at the auction, I need the complete amount. Do I have a stain on my shirt? There's a water stain. Sorry, y'all. Once it goes to auction, they can't get the number they want. Stay in your budget. Stay in your budget. Everybody type that in. Stay in your budget. Stay in your budget. You do not know who you're bidding against, right? I've done plenty of auctions and the neighbor is there bidding, right? Or a family member is there bidding. They're going to bid it up because they have a vested value. You know what I mean? They are invested in that property. The neighbor was at an auction last month. He wants that property because it's his neighbor, right? He wants that land. So his budget is going to be higher than your budget 9 times out of 10, right? You don't know who you're bidding against. Meanwhile, you're over here bidding because you just want the property to flip it and put it back on the market, right? You don't have you're not vested in the property. It's all about flipping it, making some money. Meanwhile, you're bidding against the neighbor who's willing to pay any amount of money. That's why I'm saying stay in your budget. Don't get caught up in the auction atmosphere. Do not get caught up in the auction atmosphere. That is why I want y'all to go before. Practice before the auction, okay? So you can get your little jitters off of you, right? If you plan on bidding. You don't get out there and get caught up. Start bidding. No. So anyway, my point is certified funds, okay? Cashier's check. Don't bring cash. Don't bring it in a suitcase. Don't bring it in a duffel bag. Don't bring it in a brown paper bag, right? Don't bring cash, right? Bring certified funds, which is a cashier's check. Now, you bring it however you want to, right? You got to set your budget. That's the part where a lot of people struggle. There's a lot of people struggle with how much money do I bring, right? You got to do your little, I'll show you a slide to try to help you a little bit on that. But the point is, most people buy cashier's checks in increments. You can bring one big cashier's check for your whole budget. If your budget is $100,000, you can bring $100,000 cashier's check. The guy at the auction Thursday, he had a cashier's check for $242,000. He brought the whole thing. He must have known nobody was coming. He was the only one there. But he had one cashier's check for $242,000. Now, most people are going to do increments, right? Because keep in mind, you guys, your auction mama does not have change. You're not getting no change from me, right? I don't have change for $100,000, right? So refunds and deeds come in the mail. I don't have a deed. You're going to get your refund and you're going to get your deed in the mail. So if you bring one $100,000 cashier's check, right? And let's say the property, you're the only one there and you get the property for, let's just say $50,000. You're going to wait on a $50,000 cashier check to come in the mail. A lot of people don't feel comfortable waiting on that kind of money to come back to them, right? So instead of getting one $100,000 cashier's check, you can get 4 $25,000 cashier's checks, right? You can get increments. That's what most people do. One guy had a 50, 10, 5. That's exactly. Some people get 10,000. So they know, because a lot of people ain't trying to wait on $50,000 to come in the mail. You know what I mean? You make the cashier's check payable to yourself. Who do you make the cashier's check payable to, you guys? Yourself. So if you, and it can be your name, it can be an LLC, it can be whoever, whatever your bank account is. You know what I mean? It could be Pickens Properties LLC. That can be who it's made payable to, right? It can be your name, it can be your business name. If you win the property, right, all you do is you flip it over, endorse the back, give it to the auctioneer. If you do not win the property, it's made payable to yourself. You can just put it right on back in your bank account and keep it pushing, right? So make it payable to yourself. Whatever works for you, get increments, or you can bring one big cashier's check. It's completely up to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do your due diligence. We talked about this a little bit, right? But I was just answering that question on how to pay. But it just depends on if it's online, they might make you put down a deposit and then you wire the money in 24 hours. I couldn't get it out. Deposit, 24 hours, wire the money. If you don't wire it, you'll probably lose your deposit. I'm just going to tell you that. So, auction.com, cash, look, the best thing is a cashier's check. Somebody asked me about money order, but I think you can only get money orders up to like $1,000. I think, I'm not sure, but I thought I read somewhere where you can only get money orders up to 1,000. So you have a whole bunch of money orders, right? But most people bring cashier's checks. They get a cashier's check, boom. Cash, I would prefer you not to bring cash, right? That's a negative for me. Not in a brown paper bag, not in a suitcase, not in a duffel bag, right? I'm at the courthouse in Memphis. Literally. Okay. So, I would just rather just get a cashier's check. If my cashier's check is in my name, can I buy the property in my business name? Cashier's check in your name, buy it in the business name. Cashier's check in your name, buy it in the business. So when you fill out the paperwork, it asks the vesting name, right? Like I've showed that before. Hold on, do I have a blank one? Or did I usually have one right here, but I think I took it with me to the auction. I usually can show y'all what it looks like. Sorry, you guys, I don't think I have it sitting here with me right now, but it just, yeah. So the answer is yes. Okay. So when you sign in, it'll ask you for your name and then it'll say the vesting name, right? The vesting name is the name on the deed. I was trying to see if I had my clipboard. I don't see it over here. Usually I can show you. I'm sorry, you guys. But yes, to answer your question, yes, you can. So it'll ask you the vesting name. That's the name you want on the deed. That can be your business name. That can be your name, whatever you want on the deed. Okay. And then cashier's check. Yes. You know what I mean? Just make sure the paperwork is filled out correctly. Make sure you have the address because you don't want your refund going to the wrong house. You know what I mean? You want your refund come back to you. Don't put it in the That's right. Don't have me in Memphis courthouse with a briefcase full of cash. No, don't do it. So refunds and deeds come in the mail. Be very careful if you live in a redemption state, right? Right of redemption is very important. What is the right of redemption, Ashley? That means the homeowner can come back and reclaim that property if they pay all the fees, right? And it depends, the timeline depends on whatever state you live in. Okay. So I always say this, I'm Tennessee. I do trustee sales. There is no right of redemption in Tennessee on trustee sales. If I sell your property, it is gone. That's what I tell all homeowners. I'm like, be very careful what deal you enter into with these investors. And they promise they can close before your auction date and they can't get you closed. If your property goes up for auction, you can't get it back here in Tennessee. But I know Atlanta, California, Florida, Texas, y'all have different redemption rules. They just vary state by state. I think foreclosurelaw.org, foreclosurelaw.org. I think is a good site to tell you your redemption rules. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's a year, right? Um, so 10-day redemption. I see you in New Jersey. Got you. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful of doing repairs before you have a deed. You know what I mean? And that's what I say too. It's rare that people come back in a foreclosure auction. Now, tax sales, they might come back, right, with those tax sales because sometimes it's a low amount that they can pay, right? But um foreclosure sales, they usually don't come back and redeem those properties. Yes, real estate exam. I see you. Go ahead. You got this. Make sure you study. Make sure you study the state laws, state and national, right? Um, that's right. Learn all you can learn. Actually, I purchased preferred market, but don't know how to access. Should I have received an email? Absolutely. And just send me a link. I'll send you a link as soon as we get off here. If you didn't get it, it should come in like the email after it. Just send me an email. I got you. Different states may have a redemption policy, but you're guaranteed an interest rate if they redeem. Right. That's right. You do get interest on your money if they come back and redeem it. You get what you paid plus interest. Thinking of getting mine. Haven't bit the bullet on it yet. So, I say learn all you can learn when it comes to real estate, right? You know what I mean? What else was I going to tell y'all? So, yeah, deeds, refunds come in the mail. Keep in mind, people can live in the property. People can live in the property. Remember that. So make sure you drive by. Estimate the repairs that you can see, right? Hold on. That's what I wanted to show y'all. Let me show you because y'all are like, how do I calculate how much money to bring to the auction, right? That's a major question that people always ask. I'll share a slide with you real quick. Hold on, you guys. Let me find it. But I know that's a question people get because you got to put in repairs that you can't see. You got to put in your profit, right? How much you want to make on that deal. Um, Carrying costs, closing costs, commissions for real estate, if you're going to sell it, you have to put all of that in your budget and then bring that amount to the auction. And a lot of people struggle with how much money are they supposed to bring. Y'all, I'm over here looking for the slides real quick to show you like a little formula of how to break down how much money to bring. I just do so many master classes. I feel like our Saturday and Sundays are turning into master classes at this point. I feel like you guys give me 2 seconds. I'm still looking at the chat trying to answer your questions. But I know that's very difficult. And I had a guy at an auction about a month ago, and he bid, right? I told this story before. He bid, and then when the auction was over, he won, right? When the auction was over, he stepped to the side and got on the phone and called somebody at the bank and was like, okay, I need you to bring me, I think it was like $274,000. And I'm like, no, sir, that's not how this works, right? You can't call somebody. And the other bidders were looking at me like, Ashley, you better not. It's like, Ashley, you better not take his money. It's like, they were like, if we can call somebody at the bank, we all would have bid more. So you have to have the amount that you're going to pay with you at the auction. Y'all should have seen how them guys were looking at me. They were like, you better not let anybody drop off some money here. And I had to tell them, I was like, I can't do that for you. I was like, you got to have your money in the complete amount here with you. Okay, I found it. Hold on, you guys. I'm about to share my screen with you real quick. This is in my auction accelerator course. Shout out to everybody who has that. I think like almost 200 people have got the course. Let me share a slide with you really quickly. It is the formula. Y'all are going to laugh, but you know me. It's always a good time. Hold on. I'm about to share my screen. Blink when you can see it. I'll try to make it just a little bigger for you. Present full screen. I don't know if it's do it. It might not, but y'all can see that, right? Can y'all see that blinking? Okay. able to visit vacant property except you, yeah, depending on the property, right? Depending on where it is. Like if it's vacant, you can tell when a property is vacant. Like if it's boarded up, right? That's why I say drive by the property. Like sometimes you can tell if they're vacant, right? Um, Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. You can tell, like if it's boarded up. Other ways, you know what I'm saying? Some people would turn that water faucet to see if that water come on, to see if it's occupied. Look for lights. Look for signs of life. Right? Look for signs of life. See if that guy. I mean, I pulled by auction properties, and they'll be coming. I seen the homeowner coming at the house. I'm like, oh yeah, they still here. They are still living here, like peacefully. So, just be mindful because you will be responsible for those eviction fees. If you can't always say do cash for keys or lead with love, right? But if they ain't going, you're gonna have to go to court and you're gonna have to pay those eviction fees, is all I'm saying. So I was trying to make it a little bigger so you can see. I'm a little screen. I can't make it, not share. Let's see if I can make it just a little bigger. But there we go. So there it is. I think hopefully you can see that blinking if you can see it. But a good recipe. Look at me, Chef Ashley. So goofy. Um, ARV, y'all know the after repair value minus if you got commissions, repairs. Check the repairs that you can see. What does that roof look like? Look for rotted wood, chipped paint, windows, landscaping, things like that. You know what I mean? Things that you can judge. Always check those taxes. Taxes are not included in the winning bid. Taxes are not, are taxes included in the winning bid? No. Taxes are not included in the winning bid, which is not a problem because if you're getting a good deal and you just got some taxes behind, just put that in your budget and pay them taxes. You know what I mean? We're not gonna miss a good deal because of some taxes. That's all I'm saying. You know? Um, I'm hoping y'all screen is not black because y'all be over there and be like, I can't see the screen. Can y'all see the screen? Some of you, yes, y'all are blinking. Y'all blinking and breathing. Okay. So I was making sure because when I go to present mode, I can't see y'all. So I'm just hoping y'all bear with me. So then eviction fees minus closing costs and fees, auction fees, depending on where you're bidding, like Realty Track, I think Zome might have some like bidder premiums. And then put your profit, whatever your profit is, if it's 10 to 20%, if it's more than that, and then that will equal your maximum bid. Usually, that's a good formula to go by. Everybody has their own formula. You know what I mean? So, bon appetit. So, that is one way that you can. Oh, can y'all? Did y'all? Everybody saw that, right? Keeps going to click to exit. Okay. Be mindful of possible homeowner anger and destroying employment. You just never know what you're gonna get. Life is like a box of chocolates, right? Auctions are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, right? Depending on that homeowner. But hopefully it's not. I always tell people to lead with love, offer cash for keys, you know, try to reach out to them, work out an agreement with them. Sure did. That's what she said. You know what I mean? See what their motivation is. Maybe you be like, I'm gonna bring you some boxes if you can be out of here on the 15th. How much does U-Haul cost? Let me help you, right? But y'all know with cash for keys, do not give them the cash until you get them keys, right? Don't give them no cash first, right? I always tell you, what I do when I'm buying properties or investors are buying properties, put on that contract. Put on that contract. Funds will not be released until the property is vacant. Funds will not be released until the property is vacant. And y'all like, what funds? I'm talking about if you buy that property from a homeowner. You know what I mean? If you get it pre-foreclosure, not auction. We ain't talking about the auction. I'm talking about if you reach out to them directly and they sell that property to you. Okay? Let them know they ain't getting no money until that house is vacant. And y'all are like, what money? You know, if it's like a payoff, like if the seller is going to make some money from selling their property, I work with the same title company on all my deals. And they know, do not pay out or fund any of those deals until that property is vacant. But I let the homeowner know that too. Like, you're not going to get paid until your house is vacant. It's on the contract. Put that on your contracts. One realtor it sure was on 99 Homes. It sure was. You're right. He was shady. He was shady. He's not your example. I follow him. He does that often. He always tries to work with the homeowner where they're helping them move or whatnot. Absolutely. Sometimes you can tell them like you can leave your stuff, like whatever you don't want, leave it. That might help them. Just find their motivation. It doesn't always have to be money, right? Find out what their motivation is, how you can help them, and boom, work that way. Standard watch, not looking forward to feelings. Oh yeah, 99 Homes, The Inside Job, and The Big Short. Y'all know those are my favorite. My favorite movies, three of my faves. What else would I want to tell y'all about? Title searches. I know that is a big thing. It's hard for me to teach you title searches, right? Y'all want me to show you something really quickly. Let me see if I can make this as easy as possible for you. Y'all gonna have to bear with me as I click through screens, and y'all gonna have to blink and let me know when y'all can see the screen change. But something, just a quick, I'm going to share with you something real quick. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the screen because a lot of things, let me stop talking. Hold on. Let me just get the screen up and then we'll go from there. And then we will go from there. County records and deeds. I'll share this with you just as a little, where is my site? There it is. Okay. Okay. I'm about to share my screen, you guys. I wanted to show you something. Hopefully it does not confuse the heck out of you. If it does, just said 99 Homes. Had you crying? I know it had me crying too in the first couple minutes too. I know. I don't always have I can watch The Inside Job all the time and just be mad. But 99 Homes, that's like a emotional roller coaster you're on when you watch that movie. Our title insurance company locally only, or can you look for one company to cover the areas you're interested in? Title insurance companies. Oh, I don't know any company. Because, like title companies that I use, like your title and closing companies, they usually pull that insurance for you when you close with them. You know what I mean? So Chicago Title is a huge, Chicago Title Insurance. They're a huge one that I think they cover a lot of places. That's a good question. I don't know. I've never looked for title insurance. Like the closing company and the escrow companies, they always do that for you. You know what I mean? So I don't know, reach out and see. My title company is only Tennessee, Mississippi, right? That's where Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas is where they're licensed in. So, but when you title insurance, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I hope that didn't confuse you. I hope I didn't confuse everybody. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I want to show everybody something, just a real basic. Yes, you're going to need some emotional support popcorn. I'm telling you, just pause it and get up and go walk around. Okay, everybody blinking. Can we see my screen? I'm going to show you something really quickly. Try to explain. I can't do a whole title search with y'all, but I want to show one thing that might be kind of helpful. Okay, so here in Memphis, right? If you're pulling the notices, let's pull. This is Friday's notices. I'm just going to pick one. Okay, you guys. Let's see if you can see that screen. Okay, it did not open up that screen. Hold on. So I'm picking a notice, right? Because I want to show you all something. Here we go. Now you're about to see what I'm about to see. Okay. If you blink, once y'all can see that, blink for me once you can see that. Is that a good one? Because I don't like that notice number. That one don't even have an instrument number. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Now, let me see if it's showing the one I want y'all to see. There we go. Everybody's blinking. Colette, welcome. Okay, everybody's blinking. Everybody can see Ronnie Williams. If he is on here, I am sorry. I'm not trying to put his business out. I just want to show y'all something really quickly. Okay, so this is the notice, the public notice, right? If you see here where it has instrument number, boom. Instrument number, if you read down here, it'll tell you that Ameritrust Mortgage Company is the one foreclosing on him. But what I want you to pay attention to is this document number, this instrument number right there. So I'm going to look at that number. Boom. And then I'm going to go over. Let me share my screen because I know it didn't change. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sharing my screen. Boom. Blink when you can see my screen change. Let me know. It's the Register of Deeds in my Shelby County. Boom. Thank you for blinking, Nikki. Nikki be blinking fast. Okay. And I'm going to go to my property record search, right? What I can do is where this instrument number is, the instrument number that I showed you, it might not be showing on your screen, but you know the instrument number. And I'm going to put it right here. And then there is that. I could also put it in by the address. 2607 Sunbury is his address. Sunbury. Usually it will correspond with, there it is again. It will correspond with the county records and deeds site, right? So I know this is the mortgage that he has, AmeriQuest mortgage he got in 2003. Yep, June 5th, 2003. That is what is being off. That is his mortgage. That is the correct mortgage that you want to buy. So what you can do is you can find that instrument number or that title number and put it in the county records and deeds usually, and it will let you know, it will correspond with the mortgage located with the county records and deeds office. That's usually how you can work. So if it was to pull up and say, if I was to put that instrument number in and it said Chase credit card or something like that, I would be like, nope, we ain't buying that, right? I would not buy that. John, I hope I did not confuse everybody, but that is a way to look at your county records and deed, match it up with that public notice, and make sure you're like that auction number that you're buying the right link. I know that was kind of vague. I might have confused the heck out of some of y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that is a way you can line up that notice, that instrument number with your actual county records and deeds. Make sure you're buying the right link. And if it said like second lien or second mortgage or HELOC, you'd be like, we're not buying that, right? Hopefully that didn't confuse you, but that is a way you can kind of check that title, throw that instrument number in there and see if it aligns, basically. Okay, so yeah, cross-reference. That's a way it should align. If you can find your county records and deeds, I know some counties make you pay to look at that county records and deeds site. Clearly in Shelby County, they don't care about us, and you can find anything you want to find out about our information. If you're going through a divorce, you're paying child support, you're going in foreclosure, you just type it in and you can, boom, find it. Let me even show y'all this, you guys. Y'all want to see something? Yeah, these just are, my little lives just go forever. Blink when you can, when you're with me. Blink when you're with me. I'm back on this site. I'm waiting for y'all to blink. Y'all blinking and breathing over there. Thank you, Nikki. Okay. So let me show you, because in Shelby, like I said, in Shelby County, they don't really care about us. So like even when I do probate and heirship, I can go right over here, unselect this, click affidavit of heirship. Everybody who's done an affidavit of heirship starting in, let's say, May until today, click enter. And it's going to pull everybody in my county that has done an affidavit of heirship since May 1st. Now, everybody's is not that easy, right? When I look at my, oh, it didn't change, you guys. Hold on. Y'all didn't, hold on. It didn't change. Did it not change? Hold on. Did it not? Oh, there we go. There we go. Did y'all see how I did that, or was it not blinking and going as I thought? Did y'all see how I did that? For me here in Shelby County, everybody's is not that easy. But in Shelby County, they don't care about people. They don't care about us, right? They're going to put all your business out there. So, but that's how I can market to affidavit of heirship, probate, that kind of people, because I can just pull it, put their information in there, and whoop, there it is. Everybody who's done affidavit of heirship, inherited a property, there it is for everybody to see. So What is heirship? If somebody like passes away and their kids get it, like if you own a house and you pass away, then it goes to your kids or next of kin or your brother or sister, or it goes to your mom, or it goes to your husband and wife. That's what happens when you inherit a property, right? When somebody passes away and you inherit their property, that is what happens. Heirship property, you know. And so there's a lot of people. You could see what I just pulled up. Most people have to do an affidavit of heirship to get ownership of that property. Um, get your house in order. Make sure you got a will and no. See, I just changed the subject. Get your house in order. That's what you need. You need a will, especially if you got a bunch of kids. They say death and divorce bring out the worst in people. I've never been divorced, but death for sure. I see it all the time. All the time, right? So if you got a whole bunch of kids and you know which kid is more responsible, leave it to them, right? Just give them orders or do something, but don't have them figuring it out on their own, because your house is going to be in foreclosure. And they're going to be arguing over your lamp is what's going to happen. They're going to argue over your lamp and then let your house go into foreclosure. So, boom. So just make sure you have your house in order, especially since we plan on having plenty of investment properties and we're all going to be like these multimillionaire real estate investors. Make sure you leave your house in order. Make sure you have your business in order if something happens to you. Because I didn't auction out plenty of people houses because the kids was arguing. So do you know anything? I don't do subject to. I know, but who does that? That's Pace. Pace does subject to, right? Who does subject to? It's a big YouTuber that does subject to, right? I don't claim to know that. That's not my lane. You know what I mean? I try to stay in my lane. Yes. Boundaries, easements, absolutely. Check that. You guys, I'm going to, one more site, because I know I didn't really give y'all a lot of auction sites. So auction.com is one. Hubzu is another auction site, right? You can put in anywhere you live, Los Angeles. No, I was supposed to do Charlotte, wasn't I? Charlotte. Clearly, I can't spell. Charlotte. Where is it? There we go. Okay. They don't have a ton of Charlotte, North Carolina. I feel like auction.com had more Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, they had much more. Auction.com is like the main site, honestly. Good night, Colette. The screen is black. He's great. Give it a minute, but still black screen. Okay, cool. I'm not touching nothing. Okay, everybody blinking. So I put in Charlotte, but I was gonna say, the screen's still black, or y'all can see. Blink. Okay, it's still okay. So we're good. So check find it before it can be sold. Yeah, unless it's like an heirship property. You know what I mean? If it's an heirship, the heirs can fill out an affidavit of heirship, and show the obituary and the death certificate, and usually the lender will allow them to take over the property. But yeah, it just depends on what y'all got going on. Okay, so that's Charlotte, North Carolina. I'll just show you that, because I know you asked about Charlotte. Check auction.com. And look, here's a foreclosure sale in person coming soon in Charlotte. Where is it going to be? Auction location not available yet, so you can bookmark it and see, and you can go to the auction. Boom. Auction.com, hubzu.com, xome.com, XOME is another auction website. I will put these in the chat for you. Auction.com, hubzu.com. That's right. And PropWire. Don't forget PropWire. I feel like I say that all the time, and I don't want y'all to be like, Ashley, you always tell us about that one. But PropWire is a good one too. Check that one out. I'm always a proponent for PropWire. So xome.com is another good auction site. I gave y'all some farm and land. If you're looking for land.com, loopnet.com. I was trying to think of 10x.com. Boom. Those are some good sites. Before y'all ask me, and before, because I've been on here an hour and 30 minutes, I know you're going to ask me about that auction course. You guys, I do teach, it does teach you, like 200 of y'all have got that course. I'm so happy when y'all tell me y'all go to the auction. It makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. I put on my little crazy voice, you know, me and my crazy voices. But I was going to show you because I always try to share, and I got to share the tax sites with you, and then I'm going to let you all go, and then y'all can go to bed. And then I'll be on here tomorrow. Okay, so real quick, I will share my screen, and then I'm going to let y'all go and share. I'm so glad y'all enjoy PropWire. So glad y'all listen to me sometimes, you know. So then I'm going to let you all go to bed because it's 10:30 on the East Coast. So in the course, my favorite thing about the course, because y'all are always asking me, is I made some calculators for you all, and you get like a little property tracker, a title search checklist. Blink if y'all can see this, because you know sometimes I can go too quickly. It teaches you got to learn how to do a property. You got to learn how to do a title search, right? It teaches you how to find properties, analyze them. Good, thank you for blinking. It teaches you how to calculate your repairs, right? I give you a whole list of how much repairs cost, and you can put them in and it'll calculate it for you. Also, the thing that I think everybody loves the most, it's the maximum bid calculator. Like you put in the ARV. Remember my little chef slide, me as a chef? You can plug in the numbers, right? And then it'll tell you how much, if the renovation costs are $30,000, boom, it'll calculate it and you put in your fees, and then it'll tell you how much money to bring to the auction. You get a checklist, all kinds of stuff. You know me. I try to give y'all everything that you wanted. How to calculate the ARV. Boom. But what I wanted to give you is the county tax websites for the people who missed it. Get the link. Boom. Copy the link. I'm about to drop it in the chat for y'all. The link, that's for the county taxes. You guys, let me know if somebody click on that and make sure it works. And then that's the county tax website, and you need record and deed websites. Yep, let me give y'all this one. This all comes in the course, but I'm gonna give it to y'all because I mean, you need it. You know what I mean? Y'all need it. So, good link. Okay, this is the county record and deed for the top 50. So, boom. Boom. There it is, you guys. There it is. And I will put the course link because y'all email. As soon as I get off of here, my email is full. Use code thank you. You get like a discount if you use code thank you. I always give discounts. It's always a coupon code. So you guys, I hope y'all learned something about auctions tonight. You know what I mean? Hopefully you learned good. The links work. So that should be tax for people looking for tax sales. Click on that link. If you're looking for like trustee sales, foreclosure auctions, check your county records and deeds site. And it should have like the auctions that are going up for sale, trustee auctions. Click on that and it should take you there. Tax link. Did y'all click on the tax link? Y'all didn't get the text link. Tell me if it worked. If not, I'll drop that text link. They all work. Okay, cool. Cool. Good. So use them. Go to an auction. I showed you on auction.com. Oh, LA people. One last site, and then I'm going to let y'all go. I promise. One last site so y'all aren't like, because somebody said LA. Boom. Everybody knows this site. I always share this site. I'm going to put this in here. Hold on. I'm going to show you. Click on trustee sales. I just dropped the link in the chat. Click on trustee sales. The link if you can see it. So I'll slow down because y'all know I think y'all blinking. Yep. I'll be back on Sunday, you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, cool. So they post auctions. This is this coming week's auction. You can go see previous auctions, like they were bid, how much they bid for. But here, they always have a lot of LA auctions, like LA. This is next week's auction site. Arizona, Mississippi. When it is the first of the month, they have all the Georgia, a lot of Texas auctions, as you can see. Y'all can go look on here. These are what's coming up next week. I had some St. Louis auctions. I know Louis is in here. St. Louis was canceled maybe last week. But go in here, check this site, bookmark it. Like when it's the first of the month, like they have all the Georgia auctions. Georgia. You can see opening bids. It updates like every 5 minutes. Auctions sites go out on every Friday. So boom, 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 boom. You can always email me, youragentashley@gmail.com. I will be back on here tomorrow night. You guys, y'all know I'm on Instagram, Your Agent Ashley. On Instagram. I'm on YouTube. Who knew I was on YouTube? I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Your Agent Ashley, everywhere. Everywhere you want to be. That's like Visa or MasterCard. Okay, you guys. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hopefully you got something out of this. So tonight was all about auctions. Tomorrow we can talk about foreclosures and pre-foreclosures. Tomorrow night. Trip to your next or second auction from now. Absolutely. Come to the auction. I always invite y'all to come. So yes, or go to one in your city. Go to auction.com, put in your city and just go. You don't have to bid. Just go. So, okay, you guys, that's all I got. I hope y'all have a good night. I will see you back on here tomorrow night. Sign up for the newsletter so you can, I sent out an email today. So check your spam. Check your spam, everybody. All right, you guys, have a good night. Sweet dreams. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm going to watch this and take more notes. That's cool. Rewatch it as much as you want and comment again. Happy birthday, Malcolm X, tomorrow. And anybody else who has a birthday tomorrow. I am hanging up the phone. We all hanging up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, you guys.